Beware, beware, beware. Jacques Fresco is a liar and a con man. He was not ever able to close the KKK. He joined the KKK and he was there for many years raising pigs for them. Because he was a long-standing member of the KKK, they presented him to the White Citizens Council, which were for Hitler. And he joined them. And then he joined the group Technocracy because he was a member of both those groups. And he never closed any of them. He is a liar. He tells this lie to hide the fact that he is a member of the KKK long-standing. And as far as we can tell, he's still a member today of the KKK. There's no evidence of any kind that he quit any one of these groups. And that he was a member of the KKK and left his name there, and his name is still written down there today. I remember someone saying that they went to check, and for the 1930s to 1945 KKK list, and his name was in there in 1931 as a full-fledged member. So Jacques Fresco is a liar. He lies about a lot of things. He lied about 1916 to people. He was born in 1916, and he lied about his life onwards. He was an uneducated child. He went to school, was passed off as a dunce. He was then beaten up and mocked. He ran away. He caused crimes. He was into trouble. He lies about getting jobs. Jacques Fresco is the kind of man that says so many lies and so many things that we catch him in the lies and then he drops them. Same thing with his inventions. Like I don't think he has any inventions left that he can present to anyone that people haven't proven are just stupidities. They're not inventions at all. He doesn't have any inventions. Jacques Fresco never invented anything. You know, he says helicopters with pendulums inside. People say, well, how do these pendulums work? And he doesn't know. So it's not an invention. It's not even an idea. You know, like, where do the people sit if you got two pendulums inside going back and forth? And how do these pendulums inside going back and forth keep the helicopter from actually spinning on itself? Because he says he invented something better than the helicopter that actually has a prop in the back to keep it straight. And he can't answer. So these things are not inventions. These things are lies. These things are fakes. These things are... he picks them up and shows them to you in order to con you to get money for the movie, for the Venus Project, which is what he's after. He's after money for the books. He's after money for the tapes. He's after money for the movie. This is what he has a license for. He's not allowed to build anything. So that's why people offer him millions of dollars to show up with contractors and everything ready to build, because they fall for the con job and find out that, oops, no. Jacques Fresco says no. 35 years in a row he said no. Because 35 years in a row contractors show up and said, we can do that. That's not very hard. We'll build that. And he has no license to do that. So they're lying. And that's why he tells these stories about KKK and this and that, because the stories are built in order for you to think that he's a hero, so that you would donate money so that he can make profit with his Venus Project Inc. in New York City, which is a for-profit organization built by advertising movies. So they're advertising a movie about the Venus Project, but the Venus Project is not real. It's never going to exist ever, 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 ever. There is no plans ever in the future to build the Venus Project. There's no such thing. There's none of the buildings are real. None of the planes can fly. You know, like this plane that has static. A static wind will make it fly with a whole bunch of people inside. That means no engines or nothing. Just the static will make it fly. This is insane stuff. It insults 5-year-olds. You know, like Jacques Fresco is a liar. All his stories are lies. He'll tell you that in 31 he was in New York City, and just by coincidence he was in the social services. Just by coincidence it was juvenile hall, and just by coincidence he was not being arrested and put in process as a juvenile. Now these are stupidities. These are real stupidities. You get arrested by the police, you get brought to juvenile hall for being a transient, for being illiterate, and probably in trouble too, because his stories of crime always seem to make him look like an angel when we know this is a very common crime for 16-year-olds to be doing, to go over and try to steal money from a movie clerk by giving him a note saying there's a guy with a gun over there, he's going to shoot your head off if you don't give this kid the money. Which means that we understand why Jacques Fresco was in prison, like he was in a jail. Now he says, oh, I went over and asked permission to sleep in a jail in 1931-32. Well, that doesn't exist. That don't exist. You cannot go to a man's prison, an adult prison, a jail, a temporary prison before they put you in the real prison, and ask there to sleep there overnight. This is not the 50s. This is 1930s. In 1930s, you couldn't do that. You maybe could have done that in the turn of the century, 1900s, before the First World War, but you couldn't do it after the First World War, and you certainly couldn't do it with Jacques Fresco's time when all the jail cells in the United States were full. All the juvenile halls were full, and they were filling up more and more. The United States was in crisis mode. So when Jacques Fresco, stupidly, out of ignorance, tells you, oh, I asked permission, I needed a place to sleep overnight, and you asked for the jail, and this is in the 1930s when 16-year-old boys sleep underneath trees, and they don't even have socks on, they wear shoes with no socks, and they sleep everywhere and anywhere, and that any police officer would arrest you right away. They would arrest you. They would put you in prison in a cell overnight, and then the next day take you to juvenile hall. So we know that Jacques Fresco is a liar, and that he pretends that he asked permission to sleep in jails, when we know millions and millions and millions of children of his age were scared of police officers, because police officers would hit you with the billy club. They would hit you, they would hurt you, they'd break your arm, give you big bruises and everything. They smash your face, break your nose. If you got caught in the crime, they beat the pulp out of you. It wasn't like today. So in those days there, just to walk into a police station and say you want to sleep in a police cell, that's a stupidity. That's a lie. We know that's something that does not happen. For him to say that, that's a lie. For him to say that he met a man with a disease and this and that man mysteriously winds up in the story when he gets arrested. We know he got arrested. No one asked to sleep. No 16-year-old boy will ask to sleep in a prison cell inside of a jail. Never, 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 never. They don't. They don't. Even today they don't. So Jacques Fresco is not only a liar, he lies about this adult or other person that he was with. He says this person had this disease and this and that, but we're pretty sure that the police beat the crap out of this person because they were a bad person, and that his influence with this person caused more crimes, and that's why he was sitting in that jail cell. You don't sit in a jail cell at 16 years old with the door closed and locked unless you committed a crime. Jacques Fresco is just hiding the crime that he committed. And then when we find out that he's in Hell's Kitchen in a social worker's office, we know that he did commit a crime, because in the United States, 2 crimes, 2 strikes, boom, off to juvenile hall you go, and then if the crime is serious enough, get drafted into the army. Now we don't know when Jacques Fresco got drafted into the army, but we do know one thing. No one ever asked Jacques Fresco how to make a bomb. No one ever asked Jacques Fresco how to make a bomb blow up sideways, which is another proof lie, because we know he's lying, because, hey, he's in Japan right now. He's in Japan, and he tries to make you think that you don't have a history and that his history is real and yours is not. Japan knows how to make bombs blow up sideways now for what, 1,000 years? So it's insulting how this man does not respect people. He does not respect races. He does not respect your intelligence. His ignorance is equal to an 8th grade education today, which means that he's more ignorant than everybody in the room. He's got less education than everybody in the room. And what he tells you is full of lies. And he thinks that, because you paid money, he's allowed to shit on you. Because that's what he's doing. He's actually just bending over there and he's having a crap on your brain. Because everything he talks about is lies, 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 lies. The whole Venus Project is a lie. It cannot be built, and we know it.